You guys line up on the pole, please. Is that fine? Referees in there as well. Referees. But now they're not training first, right? Oh, can we get the cue? Yeah, get the cue. And the cue. Make it look like Ronnie was saying. Snooker. Okay, opponents face each other. Whoever's playing who face each other. Get each other. Come on. Come on, guys, face each other, looking at each other. You could be perfect. And the referee jumping. Referees getting ready on the next. Where do you want us? On each edge? On each edge, yeah. Okay. Oh, we're in between, Dave. In between. In between. Like it's just behind. We stopped the opponents. Perfect, thank you. Love you all. Thanks. I tried to grab it, but I couldn't do that.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the 2025 U.S.
It's the table sound.
Yes.
You can mute it or turn it up or down.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the 2025 U.S. National Snooker Championship. It's day 4. It's Championship Monday. We hope you've enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend here in America. We're live here at the Champion Snooker Club in Concord, California. Semifinal action kicking off the Championship Monday today. Our featured match will be RENAT DENKHA taking on Andy McCloskey in a best-of-7. We'll also be taking a look over at Ajeya Prabhakar taking on Hasanain Alsultani. Good stuff here. And there's a shot of our referee in charge at the table, Ernst Bezimer. It's David Burney in the booth. The final preparations have been made, and we're about to get into this semifinal match momentarily. RENAT DENKHA has not had a frame lost throughout the entire tournament. Very, very impressive. Let's see if Andy McCloskey, reigning Seattle Snooker Open champion, can put a dent into the U.S. Masters champion, the Embassy Open champion, and as well the reigning U.S. National champion. So the champ wants to get back into that final, be a 2-time champ. Let's see if the Irish-born, American now living McCloskey can stop that pursuit. We are on the PAPSA YouTube channel, so definitely find us out there. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, feel free to let us know. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We also have Varun Rajay keeping score for us. That's just having a comfort break, getting referee Basimer just making sure that table's clean. The conditions have been great all weekend long. All the players have thoroughly enjoyed it here at the Champion Snooker Club. Got the semifinals happening momentarily. Finals are scheduled to be at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's when the finals are slated to go. Obviously, sometimes maybe these semifinals could run long. We could get into an exciting decider, thrilling stuff. So just keep up to date, but mark that there. 3 p.m. potential for final start. And if you're in the neighborhood, feel free to stop by. Lots of great seating in the facilities. They've got some cool drinks in the refrigerator. The concession stand is packed with snacks. As you can see in our top right corner, there's the other match that's looking about to begin. I think we'll be checking back with that one here and there throughout as this match progresses. As soon as RENAT comes back from his comfort break, we'll be getting this semifinal going. RENAT definitely the favorite here, but it is sport. Flip of the coin by referee Basimer. Handshakes are had by both competitors. Shake the hand of referee. RENAT DENKHA looking to break off in frame one to get us going. If you want to put any of your support for either of these players, the chat is there. Pretty sure they'll hear it somewhere through the Ethernets. And it's kind of falling to the face there on that brown. It's got options of a couple long reds. Across the hole with a little element of safe. Just didn't get the distance as the cue ball didn't come into the bulk area. A bit surprising with RENAT there. Obviously, now that we're in the longer form matches, a best of 7 early on, some players might be taking a few more chances, trying to get into the balls earlier with maybe a long pot and produce a high break. As you can see there, that red does go through the green and brown. It's a blind cut into the yellow pocket. But you can push down nicely for the blue. He's left a couple open now. Pink is rather tied up. Black doesn't go to the top left corner, so. And he's going to have to come back for the blue after this red. that nicely. So he's got the yellow with the red after into the same pocket. Oh, big chance there by Andy. Early morning match. Always a little tough to get the gears going. But that was a great opportunity just to put RENAT in his chair for a while. Andy was the chief runner of that American Masters that RENAT won, so Andy definitely got a front row view of to see what his opponent is like, so he knows he can't be making those unforced errors. It's okay for the black, just the tough part is obviously queuing over that red ball. Does look both of those reds near the top cushion do go into the opposite corner. Yeah, this is a good opportunity here for RENAT.
14.
Oh my. I just got a little ahead of the game there. Not looked at that red quite puzzling as it didn't drop. Knew that was a great opportunity. It's a big payday for sure at this match, as the winner will move on to the finals, and in the finals, obviously, you'll get your name on that great Tom Collins trophy, but the winner will be taking home $7,000, runner-up $3,000, the two semifinalists. So unfortunately, if you're not able to win this match, you'll be going home with $1,000. The quarterfinalists are making $400, and the high break right now that RENAT DENKHA has with 77 is worth $200. So a lot of cash at play here. But money comes and goes. It's the honor of becoming a U.S. national champion. That's what these players are playing for. Plant here. Oh. It's a risky red just left of the black. A blind cut. Might be able to. Nah, he's not going to hit that green, so he's going to be coming up table. like he's got a little bit of angle.
Three.
Yeah, you can take this red into the right middle, come up for a brown or yellow. Pretty tricky to hold for the blue.
Six.
That is correct. The high break prize is $200. This man at the table right now has it. RENAT DENKHA with the 77. The semifinals being a best of 7, the finals being best of 9. That possibly could drop. RENAT just eyeing where he's got hit the plant. Obviously plants are a lot easier when two reds are welded together, but minimal amount of space between those last two reds made it not too difficult for RENAT. Oh, maybe just could have done with just another lap around the table. Maybe adrenaline was pumping a little bit after that nice plant. As that's a pink he makes more often than not. Just gotta be mindful of the push shot here. That's why he's jacking up on it a little bit. That's got to run. These tables are quick, but not that quick. As you can see, the pot is there for RENAT. Just gonna have to use a little bit of extension. Reaching for his mini butt. He might be playing another plant here. Oh, he did have the path.
Seven. Eight.
Yeah, it's got the angle to draw back to be on the bottom of the two reds near the pink. This definitely looks good for RENAT to take the first frame.
Twenty-two. 23.
Just keeps everything consistent. It's always the same thing for his pre-shot routine. Couple of small feathers and then he strikes. A little tricky here, being a right-hander. Now with a 58 advantage and 43, that will be seeing Andy coming back to the table. Maybe just Andy wants to just get his back arm going. Just get a little bit of table time, just the early onset of this match. Oh, that's going to be the concession there. So, RENAT DENKHA continuing his unbeaten streak with that frame win. So, can Andy put a dent in the armor here? We'll see when frame 2 commences in a few short moments. And we'll just take a little check over onto table 2 to see where we're at in our other semifinal. Looks like Ajeya Prabhakar has a 5-point advantage on Hasanain Alsultani. It's like a little bit of a tactical affair right now. So a lot of reds are kind of going more up towards the bulk area. Hasanain is good friends with RENAT, so that could pose for an interesting final. Best friends off the table, but only time will tell. I'm pretty sure Ajeya and Andy will have something to say about that. And it looks like referee Basimer has set everything up in our featured match, and Andy's set to get us going in frame 2. A few shot it. Andy should have played better in that first frame. I think he opened the door. Obviously, that one rest shot just was short of pace. A very nice safety shot, and as you can hear, maybe the fire engine in the background. That team running to save the day. Certainly something's going on outside. They're very close. Maybe they're trying to put out this RENAT DENKHA fire. He's given an opportunity for a long-range red here for Nat to get back in. And black's pretty tied up, so he's going to come in back for the blue after this red. As they say, you're never really in a match until you get that first frame on the board. So Andy'd like to get that sooner than later. Wow. These are tight pockets. A little shake of the head as Andy goes back to his seat. Knew that was a good opportunity. He's Not going to get many against the reigning U.S. champion. That was a bit of a surprise there. So Andy let off a little bit. Didn't get punished. It's a nice pot. That's going to make you feel good. Unfortunately, that red doesn't go by that black, so. Does it pass into the left middle? Definitely doesn't go into the top left. Put that with element of save. More important, trying to get to a safe cue ball. I thought it hit a little bit on the screen, but referee Bazimer called the foul and a miss. So better second attempt there by RENAT. It's not a touching ball. There's a bit of space there. And he does have a red into the right middle, but that's a little dangerous, especially with the three reds up in the bulk area. Seeing a little tactical affair of reds being pushed up the table. Great shot of the table right there. How everything's laid out. Big shot here. It's not the easiest brown. I like that kiss on the green. Does have the red to the left middle, but he certainly wouldn't mind cleaning up a lot of these reds up in the bulk area. Of course, she's not going to score heavily. He's relatively straight on that blue. Kind of run through and be on that red that's right around the yellow spot. There's a pathway, I think, for the potting angle on this green that naturally you can come back for the red closest to it. Really tight from that view. Now it's got the best vantage point. Yeah, just rattled the jaws and didn't drop. This is where Andy needs to pounce. A few open reds. Like to be a little bit lower on that brown. He just drops his hand in disgust. He's just not feeling it right now. Well, that was up against the cushion with the cue ball. So it just made it a little bit more difficult, but we're not surprised that it didn't fall. So. It's come out that he's got a long red to this yellow pocket. It's a good confidence booster. Long red stunning it to hold for the green. Good angle, come off the cushion. Hopefully open up some of these reds in the cluster in the middle of the table. maybe there was a plant there. To the left middle. Looking at the competitors of this semifinal, might be a good note to the governing bodies here in North America to see if the government can put some funding, as both RENAT and Hasanain both coming from Iraq, and there's a lot of funding over there that RENAT has told me in previous tournaments that they really are a supporter of Q Sports. Nice brown, but he just would like to come back down the table. These reds are opening up. Black is a little tough on the top cushion, but pink and blue are open.
And McCloskey 5.
Just 28-21 for Andy McCloskey in this second frame. 67 points on the table, so still up in the air for anyone. Wow. Not feeling maybe just a little pressure of Championship Monday. I think the thin snick on the red was there, but hitting into the blue, this could be disastrous for him. Big chance there for Andy to capitalize. If he wants to win this match, he's got to turn something around on those chances. RENAT has made some blunders, but it's going to happen all the time. Important red here, he gets this. He's going to be in good end of the table with his cue ball. You know, Andy let off a little bit. That's a little fortunate that that cue ball is close to the cushion. Good recovery there by Andy. This is where he needs to punish RENAT. That missed red. It's there for him for the taking. Good angle on this green to come 2 cushions for the red into the top right corner. He decided to take 3, but he's nicely on the red. I'm not forcing anything, getting into cue ball, putting that green safe, smart play. With 18 in it and 27 on, RENAT does need that green.
Thomas, looking for.
Yeah, there's no free ball there. Oh, there is a free ball awarded by. Yes, as you can see there, that pink is blocking the right side of the yellow. But Andy getting referee Bazemir to put RENAT back in the original position for the second attempt. In this stage of the tournament, we're now in a point where it's unlimited foul misses can be called, obviously until we get to the snookers required stage. But they are keeping the more than 3 snookers needed to win when they're on the colors is an automatic concession.
7, to miss. Hold on. No miss.
Very nicely done. He's got the snooker behind the brown. It's tough to hit sometimes when your object ball's on that cushion. Good hit by RENAT. The only problem is he's put the yellow in a very relatively easy. Don't want to get too ahead, but yeah, Andy makes those more often than he misses.
And the ball 2.
So RENAT just needs 2 snookers. Only brown on its spot. He's got 1. And he's not too concerned to where object ball and cue ball go. Just make a good hit when he's snookered. Now does he elect just to roll this brown into the top left corner? That's one smart tactic when your opponent needs snookers. Put them in a snooker. So it is actually incredibly important here for RENAT, where object and cue ball end up. Oh, and that goes in and off, and that's going to be a concession there. So Andy McCloskey puts a dent in the RENAT armor. RENAT has finally lost a frame in this tournament, but we'll see what happens. Important frame 3, who can take a 2-1 advantage. We'll just move over to our other semifinal, check in how everything's going over there. Looks like Ajeya Prabhakar took the first frame, but he's trailing in this second frame. And we're back at our featured match there. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of that bonus coverage over there at our semi-final. Right now it's one frame apiece, so we definitely have a match. Both players got one on the board. Definitely the odd number framed matches are always important. Who's going to take the lead? At the climax of the fourth frame, there will be a mid-session interval of 10 minutes. He's got an option of a couple reds out in the open, both on either side of the bunch in the middle. Doesn't really need to run in and out of bulk. He's got a nice red below the pack here. He's got a bit of a finish there. Putting a little bit more pace on that blue shot just adds the difficulty to it. Just this red that Andy's just hitting there, and that other red that's left of the pack. Thought RENAT might just gingerly put in the blue and play for one of those. But he's at the table and he knows his strengths, his weaknesses. It's the big thing to be an effective snooker player, is to know your percentages, what shots you excel at, and the ones that you don't. Obviously you don't want to take those ones on. Both players doing well with their long potting today. He's got an angle. Hopefully he can come off a couple of cushions and be in the open area on the right side of the table. As the black will go to top left, does not go to top right. It's very nicely done. Come off the top cushion. You can take this red after this black into the same pocket. Oh. That's a colossal miss. Maybe just got a little ahead of the game there. This is when you want to plan out a few shots ahead when RENAT's walking around the table. But then when you get down, all focus is on the shot in front of you. Maybe just what happened a little bit to Andy. So you can see RENAT's just having a look. That red out in the open, to the left of the bunch, or that red on the bottom of the pack. But now he's going to be focused solely on the black. It's a nice shot with the rest.
Thanks.
He's got an ankle on the black to go into the bunch here. Oops, he's got a red out in the open onto the left middle pocket, but he's going to try and open him up here. Well, he's okay. He's got a red into the top right corner.
Penalty.
He's got a couple of reds into the left middle. Definitely got into that, but
Five.
Here's a good opportunity for RENAT. 25 break. There's some loose reds he can play for. Bit unfortunate that pink and blue are not on its spot, so he's going to be having to play for black mostly.
Aljeya 25.
All tournament long, just some of these players, just when they're feeling the flow, looks like they're going to move ahead and get a high scoring break, they just break down. It's nice to kick that black out, but unfortunately I think the yellow is going to be blocking the path for a mid-range black into that yellow pocket. Just can't play an easy safety shot here too, because the red is up in the bulk area. Yeah, he's got the cue ball tight to the cushion, but the red is onto the green. Yeah, being on the cushion just made it that much more difficult, but he's got the cover. However, there's a choice of reds down table for Andy. Mid-range pot, a little bit of difficulty. But struck that beautifully right in the heart of the pocket. Looks like he's got a little bit of an angle on that black into right middle that he can bring his cue ball back down to the business end of the table. He could be in business here. So that cue ball covered the black spots and red's covering the pink spots. So in that case, the black would go to the highest point value available, and that's the blue spot there. He's using that green and blue wall effectively. Although he would be more happy if that red had gone into the right middle. At least he didn't sell it out to the green pocket. Unless there's a pathway for a plant here, or there is a path for the pot. There was a pathway. Now this is a bit of trouble for McCloskey and his supporters. Black is going to come back down to its spot, and just look at how those four reds are. Great opportunity here for RENAT. Put together a frame winning clearance. You might have an angle here to bring out this pink. To always nominate your ball there, as those are very close. Red thought about it a little bit. He's got an angle to come off the blue and just kind of open up those reds in the middle. He is eyeing a bulk color.
$22.
32-point advantage with 51 on the table. Reds are open and black is on the spot. He has broken down a few times when he's gotten going. Hopefully he can just contain his focus here. Might be just a bit too straight on this black. Would have loved to be a little bit low, as going through the natural angle would take him to the left side. It's just a little bit more difficult going into the left middle. That previous black was his frame ball. It's recovered nicely. It's definitely looking good for RENAT to take a 2-1 frame advantage. All right, RENAT, let's see the half century right here.
44.
Just needs up to the brown for it. Oh, he broke down on 44. Can't make it, but Andy not coming to the table. Still, he'll be happy with that frame win. 2 more closer to reaching the finals again for the second year in a row. We'll just jump over to our other semifinal match and check in. Looks like it's a tie match over there between Ajeya, Prabhakar, and Hasanain, Alsultani. 1 apiece. Hasanain is leading in the 3rd frame. And as soon as we're ready to go with frame 4, we'll come back to our featured table. And we're back here with this fourth frame semifinal match. RENAT DENKHA taking on Andy McCloskey. RENAT's won frame 1 and 3. Andy has won the second one. He'd love to get this fourth frame to tie it 2 apiece heading into the interval. Just came off that horn, and that blue's not going to come to his rescue. Hey, Mike Collier, thanks for the kind words. It's great to meet you. Strong player. Too bad you just weren't able to come through to Championship Monday. Definitely felt, Mike, looking at your matches earlier on, you were my dark horse, but hey, there's always next year and other great events, as there's becoming a lot more snooker events here in America, which is great to see. Nabel, thanks for tuning in out there in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Obviously, this is our final day here at the U.S. National Championship. But if you crave snooker, definitely tune in to our friends up at the OBSA YouTube channel. Rob Richards providing great coverage up there of the Senior Canadian Championship. That concludes tomorrow. That's when their finals are. They're in the, I think, the knockout phase today. And then starting on Wednesday all the way to Sunday is when they have their Open Championship. I believe also earlier today there was the semifinals of the Women's World Championship over in China. So, lots of great snooker. Hearing rumblings about the wonderful Seattle Snooker Open Championship. Could be him heading possibly July. And then we'll be back in Northern California, kind of the end of the summer. As last week in August, early September is when the Pan Am Championships will be going on in Sacramento, at the Sacramento Billiards Room. That was the site of the American Masters that Andy McCloskey and his team at AMC Sports put on. Tom Tan cheering on his man from Chicago. Ooh, that could be disastrous there for Andy. He's gifted RENAT an easy red. Yeah, Andy McCloskey's the only one to take a frame off of RENAT. Hopefully he can take 3 more. But the reigning champ is definitely playing like a champ. And hopefully next year the 2 national bodies, one in the U.S., one in Canada, can at least talk a little bit so all your great fans don't have to be split with decisions. They can have their national championships on opposite weekends, so all your great fans can tune into those both great championships. It's a little unorthodox for RENAT. Runner scorekeeper helping out a little bit there. Looking to get the extended spider for RENAT. Oh, easy, Ernest. Kind of want to let the player take off their rests when they're finished with it and hand it to the referee. But we appreciate Ernest jumping in. But no foul for either player there, as it was a referee blunder. But we appreciate Ernest and Dave Daly both stepping up, refereeing these semifinals. Dave will be on the TV table for our final later today. It's a tough job, these referees. They gotta be on their feet all match long. Don't get a chance to retire to their seat, as the players do. Gotta be completely concentrated on the task at hand. It's broken down on 17, so early gift from Andy for that red. RENAT was only able to put together 17 points. Let's see how Andy responds here. It's kind of thin red into the top right. It's coming up for the bulk colors. It's not missing by much, but you just got to be extremely accurate in this game. He's all right. I don't think he particularly wanted that cannon into the brown, but he's fortunate enough that he's got the red to the yellow pocket. Yeah, he hit it with a little bit of pace to come back down for his colored ball. And he let off with a little bit of that red that wobbled in the jaws. Safety was more of Andy's concern on that shot, but he'll take the red. Raises a little bit of the hand. Acknowledges a little bit of a fluke. A little pacey on the roll up, but it was tough. A lot of distance there. It's a nice cue ball there by RENAT. By a little tap on the table there by Andy, tight to the bulk cushion. Having a look, well, it does not really an easy red. Maybe those three that are above the pink and to the rightmost red. He will take that into the yellow pocket, do with top to run up table. But has to be mindful that there is that red by the green. Anyway, there's going to be a tough shot for RENAT. The safety was tough as well.
One.
It's got a good angle on this green to get the red into the yellow pocket.
Four. Five. Seven. Eight.
Good angle on the blue. Come back down to the business end. Come off the right cushion. Beyond the red that's out in the open. He's looking for the brown. He's got an angle on this red above the black. And he can stun down and cannon into that red that's just left of the black and hold for the black. Was it a bit of fortune there? Oh, I don't know if he's got the pawning angle on the black. It's tough to tell from the camera angles. And he will know best. Yeah. He tried to will it in there. He's done well to get back into this frame, only trailing now by 7 points. hello to our good friend Christian Youngers. Thanks for the kind words, Christian. We're missing you. I hope you're having a good time in Bermuda. You and Mike supporting the game down there. Hopefully someday soon, we can get you, Lance, myself, the three amigos doing an event. I think that's a bold prediction, Christian, but I would definitely back you up. These are two strong players here. It could be a final in its own. Not to discredit Ajeya and Hasanain, but RENAT has only lost one frame in this entire tournament, and that was just a few moments ago in frame 2 of this match. So, safe travels, Tristan, or Christian, I should say, as you're in the airport. Hope you get home safe. Look forward to hearing your stories of Bermuda. Looking forward to that, Christian, with your many stories. We've had a few stories here in Concord, California as well. Definitely. It's never a dull moment when you come to a tournament. Lots of excitement. I'll see that shot that C had, the room owner. Obviously, no one saw that coming. Definitely on YouTube, check out the previous matches. I think it was our second match of the entire tournament. Let's see, took a red into the top right corner, hit it so much with pace that it popped out and rolled along the cushion and landed into the middle pocket. And RENAT yesterday had a beautiful 3-ball plan. Had a tremendous, nicely 77 break. Some good tactical play. All our friends. Good to see Sargon Isaac, Tom Lamore bidding to be a semifinalist again. Unfortunately, came up short yesterday. And as always, getting to meet some new friends. Friend Mike Collier. And many more. Apologize if I'm missing anybody's name, but it's always a good family. Our good friend Darren Taylor always says, when you become friends in a snooker room, you do become friends for life. As much as years may pass where you might not see each other, as soon as you see each other, you rekindle and kind of take off just where you left off. RENAT does have a red into the left middle. Just a little unfortunate. His cue ball's gone rather tight to the cushion. Is there a pathway for that green? Go by the red into that same middle pocket as that red found home in. Very clever. I think he's snookered Andy at least on 2 reds. Forcing Andy to shoot for this open red. He's fortunate enough not to cannon into that red, but he has left it on to the right middle. See, it's a little bit of difficult mid-range shot. Cannon into the red, it would have deadened the pace of the cue ball, giving RENAT an easier red into this right middle. Nice angle on that green. Doesn't need to do much with it. Maybe just a little draw back. Wants to avoid the pink. Oh.
9.
So this break is going to stop there. He's got a 12-point advantage. Got 35 on the table.
Good night.
Nice to hear the support for RENAT. There's a little support here for Andy in the room. Andy lives in Sacramento, which is pretty close by to where we are here in Concord, California, the northern part of the Golden State. Gato Billiard Club, that's in Chicago. Maybe that's where RENAT plays. Talking to RENAT the other night, I was seeing if this tournament ever could get out Chicago way. He was just telling me there's not a lot of rooms that have snooker tables. There's a lot of pool, but snooker is very quiet in the Windy City. Hopefully that can change pretty soon, because I'd come running to the Windy City. If we had any downtime and it was in season, I'd love to take a visit to the famous Wrigley Field, home of the wonderful Chicago Cubs. Still anyone's frame here. Obviously Andy would love to put it at 2 apiece going into the interval. Great weighted shot there. Cue ball tight cushion. Red object ball tight. Oh, we got a nice flick there. Might be a little coat of red paint that RENAT can hit going by the yellow. But just blue on its spot, so still anybody's fourth frame of the semifinal match of the U.S. National Snooker Championship. And Andy's got the snooker there. Does he? There might be a little path. Maybe he can swerve around this brown. Wow. Very close to going in and off. It's going to be a tough bridge. And I don't know if he's angled actually. Ouch, would this hurt? So when he's angled, it means that cue ball is just snuck against the jaw. It certainly looks like it. Yeah, I don't think he can come straight up table. He's going to have to come off the right cushion. The result RENAT had on that safety shot. Definitely tough with the brown there as well. And he's going to have his bridge hand all over that pocket. Great shot there of the awkward bridging that Andy has to deal with. Wow, great hit. Gets a round of applause from the audience. What's interesting about the foul and the miss, just looking at that last shot, that was going to be a tough escape. Andy did a tremendous job there. Usually in a foul miss situation, it is under the discretion of the referee. Sometimes it can just be a foul. As we know, the foul and miss ruling was to bring in, as professionals are not expected to miss, and professionals were missing on purpose. Just seems like sometimes in the amateur game it's just automatic for the foul and the miss. But then I guess you get into the judgment call. Obviously the referee feeling that that might have been a tough escape. And an opponent, if they're in a bit of bother, they might protest the same case. Well, 35 on the table, 12 in it. RENAT DENKHA, reigning U.S. Open champion, U.S. National champion, I should say. It's a U.S. Open tournament. It will be open to players from all over. There might be rumblings of a U.S. Open championship coming up down the pipe. As with an Open championship, by definition, that's open to all. So maybe some friends from Canada can come down and play. Or even if our friends from Brazil, they always like their snooker. It'll be a big travel to come up to USA, but they have before and they will at the end of the summer when we have the Pan Am Championship. Always good to see Chefe, Januario, Daniel. Hopefully he'll be doing commentary. Maybe even our good friend John Talise. Hopefully he's still refereeing down there. He's doing a dynamite job. This is the big shot here, green to yellow. If you can get position here, definitely should be taking this frame. Very nicely done. Needs the brown as well to get us to the snooker's required stage. But this frame is definitely there for the taking for RENAT. Just making sure of everything. Pretty much not getting up from the shot until his object ball has found the bottom of the pocket. A good practice to have to any youngsters or novice players out there. So RENAT should be going up 3-1 into the interval. Blue would definitely make sure of it. It does look like the pink just slides past that black. The angle and line is there, and there it is. So RENAT DENKHA takes that frame 63-20 with a rather commanding 3-1 advantage. We're going to head off to the mid-session interval in this match. We'll be back in about 10 minutes time, but we're going to pop up for some bonus footage of our other semifinal match. I hope you enjoyed that little bonus coverage over there of our other semifinal match. We're now back with our featured table here with RENAT DENKHA with a 3-1 advantage over Andy McCloskey. It's going to be a monster comeback if Andy wants to put his card into the championship. If there's a man to do it, Andy can. Just baby steps, take it one shot at a time. Don't win it all in one go. And at least don't make any unforced errors. Obviously, you'd like this cue ball to pull up a little bit sooner. He's left a long black for RENAT. Monsieur, thanks for the kind words. Appreciate you tuning in. Glad you enjoyed the commentary. Hope you're enjoying the great snooker action. Let's see what Andy can do. Obviously, everyone likes an underdog in sport. He's definitely up against it right now. Obviously, Andy's dad is in attendance, James McCloskey. Great to see father and son competing in the same tournament. Thank you for the kind words, Patrick Gigi. It does take a large team to put these things together. Long hours on the day of the tournament and a lot of pre-planning just to make sure you get everything covered. So nice to see that Patrick Gigi did come down for the tournament. Some people were scratching their heads. I mean, this sounds like a Canadian, though, coming down. But everyone, I am living proof. I did see Mr. Gigi's dual citizenship, as he did live in this area for a period of his life. So dual citizen holders of Canada and America can play in the tournament. As I said in the previous stream, hopefully maybe a U.S. Open Championship can happen. Whereas definition by Open Championships are open to all nationalities. Like to be a bit higher. He does have that open red on the right side. Black is rather tied up to the top left corner. Ooh.
November 14, 4.
It's a nice 14 by RENAT. Just didn't want to give away 4 points on the end. A little careless. And he's got ball in the hand. He's got a long red. Like he might have been playing that with a shot to nothing, and he was flirting with that green pocket. Lucky the cue ball stayed out. Definitely is a tough situation here for Andy. As one missed shot could cost him his run in this championship. So sometimes he's playing a little tighter. And RENAT with a 3-1 advantage, just one frame away from victory. kind of can play a bit looser. It's kind of what you want to play all the time. It's just feeling a little loose. You don't want to be tense. But if Andy is able to get this frame, tension might rear its head into the man from the Windy City. Blame RENAT for taking that on. He's trying to go for it, stamp his card into the final sooner than later. Doesn't want to give Andy any hint of being victorious. Yeah, I could just see the frustration what Andy has, just stomping his cue there. It was a thin cut, but unfortunately he's sold out this red into the green pocket. RENAT is going to need the redwoods here. There are other semifinal matches just in their mid-session interval. It looks like Hasanain Alsultani has a 3-1 advantage over Ajeya Prabhakar. So if this match comes to a conclusion before that match finishes, we'll slide over there for some bonus coverage.
Wait.
RENAT would love to get that black back on its spot. Pink is kind of tied up. He'll be happy with the blue. Going through and just looking at those two reds that are left of the black spot. So he'll take one of them and hold there. He can have the black into the opposite corner pocket.
Nine. Ten.
4 advantage for RENAT. So red's there. Just color's a little tough. Did his best to try and develop that blue a little bit more. Might have stayed tight to the left cushion. That's the case if it's glued there. The philosophy is take your cue ball and hit cushion and object ball at the exact same time, but he might have a path for this black. It's a bit too thin. Three reds below the pink. Does the right one, is there a path through those reds? Renat doesn't think so. He's probably going to be playing safe. Oh, the blue dropped. So close to just holding on to the cliff of that pocket, but fell its way down, so 5-point foul. Just open up that pocket, opened up a chance for Andy. Just couldn't convert on the long pot. It's a little dangerous with that red going near the black that's near the top right corner. It's done well to take that red that's rather sitting over the top right now. He's trying to force the issue here. I don't know about this. Well, the black's now out of play, but King of Pot is inquiring why we don't hear the clicking of the balls. Well, that is production value. If you're used to the pro scene, you definitely hear a lot of the click. That means they're in auditoriums where they can string shotgun microphones shooting right down at the table, so you'll hear all the clicks going on. They have dedicated audio mixers behind the scenes, making sure all the sounds are perfect. We're doing our best here. We're kind of a skeleton crew behind the scenes. Hopefully, as these tournaments begin to get larger and sponsors roll in, we can afford to get many technicians behind the scene to give you great sights and sounds on the snooker table. Could have been worse for Andy there. He's fortunate enough. Might be in for a little tactical exchange here. Nice shot by RENAT. I think he's taken all but one red. Ooh, that's not going to be great. It's going to be an extreme long rose plant here. All RENAT needs to do is hit that red near the top right in any fashion, just to knock in the other red into that top right corner. We would have liked a kiss or a flick on some ball there, because he might just use the brown and roll up to the green. Or might glide through to this black into the left middle.
Thanks.
Come on, this cushion just ever so gingerly to be onto the pink. He's got a nice angle to be on this red just to the right of the black. This is not looking good for Andy. Nothing he can do, just sitting in his chair, just hoping for a little blip. One chance.
Particularly.
Didn't want that cannon into the black. Needs this black and a red. Well, 43 in it with 51 on the table. It's not the worst miss that RENAT has made there, as that black is up the table. And you can take all the reds and pinks. That's not a problem. If RENAT was able to take one more red, put Andy in a lot of trouble. Oh, and there's a shot. Wonderfully done by Andy.
On this. And plus 4.
It's a little awkward bridging there. He's going to have to get his extension. Don't blame him for taking this on. He's got the pink down there. Once there's a chance. Oh, can you believe it?
DENKHA 6.
The chance was there for him for the taking, and he goes in off on the pink. No. And he does need a snooker. Potential of a free ball. Obviously, when we get down to that last red is also there. But just when he had an opportunity, he goes in off. Nice shot there by Andy. Just might be a little bit of the red down below the pink that he can hit. This is helpful for Andy. Getting the red balls up table, that's where the black is.
Wow.
He's going to have that final red that he can cause some trouble for RENAT. A free ball would be ideal. Might just be able to gingerly get behind the blue. He hasn't got it. I think he just missed a trick there. Even the potting angle is open. Mid-range. Oh boy. I think that's just seeing the last hope for Andy to be the U.S. national champion. So the reigning champ is going to be moving on to the finals. These pockets now looking like buckets over there. So RENAT, DENKHA looking to be part of an elite group, a multiple U.S. national champion. He's going to be in the finals. He still only just lost one frame. We'll have to see what happens in the final. That block seals the deal. What a match there. RENAT DENKHA, he is moving on to the finals. He will take the winner of the Ajeya Prabhakar and Hasanain Alsultani match. We're going to push over there for some bonus coverage. Might just step aside, just get a cool drink, and come back to provide some commentary. So well done, RENAT. Commiserations to you, Andy. It was a tough battle out there, and thank you, Ernst Bezimer. Apologies, Ernst. Thanks for doing your refereeing, and Varun Rajay scorekeeping. So we'll bounce over to our other semifinal. It's for you to enjoy. It looks like they're just about to come back from their mid-session interval, and when I get back from a comfort break, we'll see how this one goes. Thanks, everyone. Good afternoon, everybody. So I just need to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to do my best to help you navigate through this other semi-final with Ajeya Prabhakar leading this sixth frame, 27-11 over Hasanain Alsultani. Looks like a little bit of controversy earlier. Looks like he's got the red into the left, or the pink into the left middle. Ooh. It's a little tough from our vantage point over here. I'm a couple tables away from, width away from this table, and the angle. Oh, it's a little tough to see what goes. Looks like Hasanain has a red just above the black, comes into the top left corner. Oh, it was there, it just rattled in the jaws. Ajeya might be taking this red above the black. Trying to do his best to get to a decider. Should be able to just roll this blue in. It'll be on the red to the top left corner. So from this vantage point, the black doesn't go into the top right. The right side of the blue to come down and open up some reds. Oh, the black just might have gotten in his way there. Does have a 35-point advantage. 67 points on the table. Pink's kind of out of commission. Yeah, might have kicked the red. Open in the top right. This morning he's got the cover with the blue. Looks like Hasanain has a chance for this red into the left middle. Yeah, all those reds on the top area of the cushion, just a nasty little business. This red near the pink looks like it will go to the top right. He's run just a bit too much. Incredible thin cut to the top right corner. I just glance off it and come back into the bulk area, play safe. He's opened up the pink. It's only just 32 in it and 59 on the table. Jay's just going to be mindful. Queuing over that pink. Referee Daly taking a good look. Make sure no foul is committed. Ooh. And Ajeya does have the choice to shoot from the D or put his opponent back in from there. Just be mindful of jostling sometimes the cue ball with that cue. We've seen it before in previous tournaments where sometimes that tip inadvertently hits the cue ball and that would act as a strike. So when you have ball in hand, always good to use the hand to place the ball exactly where you want it. A little messy of a frame we got here. Tough to tell. Maybe he can get by the blue. A thin cut on that red on that top cushion. Play it with an element of safe. Oh, great pot. Ooh, did he angle himself? This pink definitely looks like it does go. But the one worry is he's gearing up for it, so he's not on one of the jaws of the green pocket. Good angle, he can disrupt these reds. He's got a red that can go by the black, or even use the black to help him. Yeah, he's left a plant on for Ajeya. black there by Ajeya. He's got the pathway for this red. This is frame ball right here to put us into a decider. Crowd acknowledges how important that red was. If you can get this black, another red, another red with that black, it should be good steed to push us into that deciding frame. It's at the more than 3 snookers required for a victory, so this is going to be a concession as soon as Ajeya's break is finished. But come on, Ajeya, let's see you run the table here. Well, if Ajeya can run it out, he's got a half century. He'll boost off his confidence as he was trailing 3-1 at the interval. He's found something to push us into a decider. It's okay, would have liked it to run a little bit more. Come off the cushion, can be on this black. Just a little too much. It's just in the middle of nowhere. So, hold on to your shoes, everybody. We'll step aside for a few short moments and come back with a deciding frame of this semi-final between Ajeya Prabhakar and Hasanain Alsultani. And the frame is set, and Hasanain set to break us off in this deciding frame. Who will go and face RENAT DENKHA in the final? Will it be his good friend Hasanain or the president of the USSA, Ajeya Prabhakar? Time will tell. Obviously in these deciders, more in the amateur game, it's getting a few chances. Go for this white ball. So, first opportunity for Hasanain. big frame here. This is the difference between walking home with $1,000 or having the potential to win 7,000. Ooh. Hasanain can't believe it. Maybe just the thought of money went through his head as gets a little frustrated there, slamming down his cue. Yeah, it's $7,000 for the winner, $3,000 for second place. Andy McCloskey's already got $1,000 as a semifinalist. Who else will have $1,000? And the quarterfinalists, all of them will take home $400. And the high break prize so far that RENAT DENKHA has at 77, he'll take home an additional $200. Now let's see if Ajeya can capitalize on that miss of a relatively easy red, it looked from this vantage point. A shot that Hasanain makes more often. Yeah, he's got a couple open reds. Does have an angle to come off the top cushion and cannon into the pack of reds to open them up. He's having a good look. As we saw just before, it might just go by the blue to that green pocket. Referee Daly, and there's kind of a look that we can see between those two gentlemen. Jay is thinking it's going. Big shot here. Oh, it does, and right into the bottom of the pocket, and he's nicely on the black. Jay, a tough competitor. Did have him on the TV table at the end of day one, I believe it was. Jay and Tom Collins were doing battle. Jay just was struggling a bit with form, but he's been grinding it out. Just knows what it takes to win, as he is in the semifinal. He was trailing 3-1 at the interval. He's stormed back. Break these reds open. He did, but he didn't get the blue. Sure enough, the cue ball squirted off the pack of reds and came into the bulk area, little hand raised there by Jay, apologizing for the fluke result. This maybe with a little trace of right side. He did have an angle for the pot, but maybe you could clip off the right side of the red. Conversation there between players. Not sure what that's about. Hasanain definitely does like to talk a little bit here and there between in his matches. Maybe just clarifying something. great support team here with Lance Bromlin and Amit Seth. So if Hasanain did have a question about the tournament, he shouldn't approach Ajeya, as Ajeya's got his player hat on, not president or tournament rep. He's gifted Ajeya a chance with this red into the right middle. Just from this camera angle, just tough to see what the angle is. If it's thin, he might be able to come down for the black. If it's relatively straight, maybe a double on the pink. Oh, he had a bit of an open there. He didn't need the double. This pink does go to the opposite top corner pocket after this red. Should find home in the top left. Pink is there. It's got a red on the bottom of the cluster. Yeah. Another red as well. This is the bottom of these 5 in the middle. So great chance to extend his lead in this deciding frame. He's nicely on this red. And that's opened up that red just to the right of the 3, below the pink. We'll come into the opposite corner pocket. Looks like Ajeya does have the angle on this black to come off the top cushion. As you can see, he had a little wry smile there. He can't believe that. Maybe just got a bad contact there, a kick, as he's asking referee Daly to clean the cue ball, as that fell well short of pace. Interesting to note as well, after the 5th frame climaxed, Dave Daly was refereeing this match, and then our other semifinal came to a conclusion sooner than later. So Dave's going to be doing the final, so that's a lot of stress on the feet. So players were all right with Ernst Bezimer coming over and finishing the match. But Ernst, a great referee, definitely enforces all the rules. And there was a point in between the break and frames as Ajeya went to a comfort break. Ernst had set up the frame, and Hasanain just started practicing a little bit on the table, which is a no-no. In between frames, you're either sitting in your chair waiting for the next frame to begin, or you're using the restroom if nature calls. And so Ernst gave Hasanain a stern warning that you are not able to do that. And Hasanain was a bit taken back by that and asked if they could get back referee Dave Daly. So I wonder if that just had a little rattle in the brain for Hasanain. As after the interval, Ajeya has come back and won 2 in a row to tie us at 3 apiece, and certainly looks promising that he could take the 4th and deciding frame. Would he like to have that shot back? Yeah, 45 minutes 75 on the table. Blue's really out of commission. Black's out in the open. He's got some reds into the top right corner. But he can't convert on the pot. He's gifted a chance for Ajeya. Take one of these reds, be on bulk, and come back for the other red near this left middle pocket. Well, he may do to get the pot. That's a good start, but definitely didn't want to can any other red to open it up. But he does have a pink. I'm about to pull up a little bit more. Comeback is getting tougher and tougher for Hasanain. Situated where 4 reds are. Yeah, 62-10 in this deciding frame. Ajeya Prabhakar in control. Had that and double kiss, and it's gone from bad to worse. Hasanain definitely is struggling out there. Needs to just find a little bit of good form, or it's going to be lights out. to tell if that angle was there. Jay doesn't look too upset. I wonder if that red just wasn't available there. Here's the hand of the fluke. Stranger things have happened when a fluke has gone in. Maybe you can get a color and get down for these reds and mount a little bit of a comeback. The match is in your hands. Hasanain, you're at the table. It's unforced error there. I think referee Daly just was caught off guard there a little bit, wasn't expecting there to be a miss. Hasanain coming to help out referee Daly. All three gentlemen at the table will confirm when all are green. It's game on, attempt number 2. Those are 4 points at Hasanain with the deficit that he faced. He just getting close to that green pocket, but it's pulled up all right. And then just taking a look at the score, trailing by 52, 59 on the table. It's good fortune that a lot of these reds are around the black and the pink. That's a thin cut to the left middle on this pink for Hasanain. Definitely has to be mindful of the in off. Just doing a little bit of arithmetic there. Let's see if he's unsuccessful on a color, he still will be trailing by 51, so he doesn't need any snookers. Just would have to get all the reds with blacks and force a black ball respot. He's got the blue. Doesn't really have a pot here on either of the reds. is above the black. Looks like it's almost beside by our camera angle, but just looking way across the room, might be able to cut it in. Oh, has he got the cover? That's the question. Looks like he possibly has, or I think Ajeya would be coming down to the shot a lot quicker. He's looking at the score. Ajeya just needs the one red. That's his frame ball. Put us in the snooker's required stage. Yeah, just tough for how the camera angle is pointed there. Obviously, this is bonus coverage. This is not our usual feature table, so seeing the angles that Ajeya has is a bit perplexing for us in the booth. Yeah, he's gifted Hasanain a great chance here. These shots are tough going along the top cushion. Have to hit it with a little bit of pace. Oh, he just wants to bounce off the cushion, maybe beyond the pink. Oh, he was able to just use the one cushion. Thought maybe he was going to use two. And that red is definitely sitting nice by the yellow pocket. Green is only the really trouble ball, it looks like, for Hasanain. So it's glued tightly to that bulk cushion. But a lot of work to do before that. And we will be coming back here live at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. That is when the finals are scheduled to commence. So set your alarm, your reminders, whatever you need. 3 p.m. on the West Coast here at the Champion Snooker Club in Concord, California. It's the 2025 U.S. National Snooker Championship. RENAT DENKHA already in the final. And the winner of this match will be facing him. Looks like Hasanain having a little issue with his patch on his waistcoat. Just want to make sure he's cueing over the black and red here. Doesn't want to hit it with anything, or hope that it doesn't fall off. Shot to nothing there though by Ajeya. Wanted to make sure his cue ball got back into the bulk area. The red is his frame ball. That would put us into the Snooker's required stage. Jay does have a chance for this red into the left middle. Very nicely done. He's got the black. Definitely if he's able to get the red, that will assure the deal of putting him into the final. Oh, we can't convert on the black. Just the pressure of getting over the line. So there's 39 in it. There's 35 on the table. Potential of a free ball with that last red. So it ain't over yet. Hasanain just having a glance at the scoreboard. He's playing for a black ball respot. Oh my, no he's not. Does need a snooker. Definitely needs this black. Yeah, he might just take black and yellow. Somehow create an opportunity to knock that green free and maybe potentially get the snooker. Incredibly quiet here in the room here at the Champion Snooker Club. All the audience's gaze is on this match. is getting nervy. He's put him on a good position. Fortunate part is brown, blue, pink, and black are all on their spots. Not in a great spot for snookers. $22 on the table, 26 in it. Slowly, as you take balls off the table, you lessen the chance of your opponent, if you do put him in a snooker, of canning into a non-object ball. Alright, there it has come. It's getting a little nerve-wracking there. Wasn't sure what Hasanain was planning to do. Hopefully he was reading the scoreboard correctly. Sometimes ones can look like sevens and vice versa. Yeah, Jay will be happy to keep a black and blue, black and pink close to their spots. Keep them out in the open. There's a chance. It's a long blue, but it certainly is a chance. This blue to put him in to the final of the U.S. National Snooker Championships. Oh, what a shot. It's there, and it's coming back down. This definitely pink to seal the deal. Pink is not there. So now I'm going to play on. Now obviously, with the foul points that can happen here, there's 6 or 7. So with the more than 3 snookers required, that's 18 points potentially there. Oh, and that pink definitely puts it in there. Delighting it to the crowd. What a match there. What a come from behind. Ajeya Prabhakar. Outstanding. He went to the interval, had probably a pep talk with himself. Commiserations to Hasanain Alsultani. He was close, on the verge of meeting his buddy in the final. But we're going to step aside for about a couple hours time, as it's just at 1 o'clock over here in California. Come back and see us at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Pacific. That is when it's going to be the final of RENAT DENKHA taking on Ajeya Prabhakar in a best of 9 to see who's going to hoist the Tom Collins Trophy. It's David Burney saying get that lunch and a cool drink, and we'll see you in a couple hours.